Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Aquarius, I hope you're doing well. This reading is all about how you are alchemizing something in your life at this time, how you are transforming something from one kind of more raw state of being into something perhaps more refined. So I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one is the Wild Unknown Alchemy for the overall energy, and for the tarot reading, the Pulp Tarot. So cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So this card came out for enough, I think it was for one of the fire signs. And it is the Great Serpent, the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros. Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself, is very much a mythical creature. You see it in a lot of representations in spirituality as well, because it also talks about kind of the cycle of life and the karmic cycles as well, kind of eternal cycles. This sense that, you know, they're showing me, it's like this sense that over time and with pressure, things start turning into jewels. And so there could be this very distinct awareness on your part that you have, there's been a certain amount of pressure, perhaps that you've put on yourself over time, that has caused you to recognize what has served you and what has become kind of landmarks within your own internal landscape, landmarks of wisdom, landmarks of accomplishment. And it doesn't all have to, it doesn't have to be like, oh, your career accomplishments, although that could be a big thing for you. The Aquarians are entrepreneurial by nature. They're definitely leaders by nature. But there are other gems that I feel as though I see in this card, because there's also this beautiful spectrum of color and shape, intensity. It's almost like there's a part of you, well, what I just heard in my head was there's a part of you that wears your experiences proudly, but more specifically, I heard traumas, and I want to be very careful with how I say this, because you want to you want to strike a balance between how much you privilege your traumas as these emblems of experience in your life that define who you are. Now, traumas help to inform our personalities and our psyches, that's for sure. But maybe this is what you're alchemizing right now, which is the sense or idea that you used to define yourself by your traumas. like wearing trauma as a badge of honor. I don't really see Aquarians doing that though, Spirit. Maybe that's just for one person. The reason why I say that, right? Because everything's turning into a jewel. And what do we do with jewels? Not so much crystals, but refined jewels. We look at them as markers of wealth, or fashion, adornment. Right? That's why I said it's like, okay, we're talking about these jewels coming from experiences. So maybe for you, it's not about your traumas. Maybe it's just about your experiences. And it's not to say that you shouldn't be proud of where you've come from. But part of this cycle is kind of like suggesting to me that if it's a karmic cycle, we don't want it to come back in the same way, because then it'll just repeat in the same way. That's why there has to be some kind of alchemization or evolution, or else we're just going to go into the next lifetime doing the same thing. Even the lifetime within this lifetime, right? Like, let's say you were married once and you didn't heal from those traumas. You wore those traumas like a badge of honor. You get involved in somebody else. Then the whole thing happens again because there was nothing that you did that fixed it. And so the cycle goes around again. I'm not suggesting that you're doing that. I'm just using that as an example. Because in this, they're not coming around again in the same shape, in the same form. There's something that is being pressurized over time into a different shape, into a different appearance. And that can be different for everybody. But I feel as though you're very cognizant of it right now. It's like you're doing a life review. And you're kind of trying to determine what you're going to take with you and what you're going to leave behind. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. There's no past, present, or future. This is just a channeled message from Spirit of what you are trying to alchemize. Before I even finish pulling the cards, here's the Justice card. I'm talking about karmic justice. One more. It's for Aquarius. So Justice is the only major arcana card that you got so far in the base spread. And it's talking about cycles of repeat, but it's also talking about rising above it. You can see here how empowered this this character looks with the kind of fire in the background. She's not taking any prisoners, that I can tell you, but that's the nature of karmic justice. This card can also talk about court cases, documents, contracts, you know, some kind of legalities that you might be contending with at this time. But it's a very stark reminder, right, of finally things moving in your favor, and to kind of keep in that same vein, to not bring up things that would undermine your progress. I don't know why I feel very strongly about this, but I feel like there's something cropping up for some of you right now that is going to test you. Okay, because Spirit is giving me an example. I think I talked about this in another reading, but because it annoyed me. But there was somebody, because this just happened recently, there's somebody that I had gone out on a single date with, one single date, which was probably the best date I had ever been on. 4 hours long, just conversation and laughing and what I perceived as chemistry. And, you know, afterwards, we said our goodbyes. We texted for a little bit, and then he totally ghosted me. I don't think I did anything wrong, because, you know, you tend to like go over the scenario, and I'm like, no, he's just not that into me. Even though I had an epic date, he was a total gentleman, you know, great on paper, just like what I was trying to attract at the time. This was a long time ago. This was several years ago. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 years ago, like right as the pandemic was, like things were starting to kind of open back up again. And I went on this date. So New Year's Eve 2024, this man tried to friend me or send me a friend request on Facebook. New Year's Eve. Like 4 or 5 years later. I can't remember. I think it was 4 years later. 4 years. And all I could think about was, what? Why? Why? The old me, the insecure me, might have friended him. Oh, you know, it's been 4 years. Maybe somebody's changed, blah, blah, blah. No. Spiritual me, the me that values herself a lot more now. I'm sorry. Who are you talking to? You need to look somewhere else. Right? This is kind of an example of what I'm trying to say. That kind of test. You know, because curiosity can get the better of us. That's when spirit sends you the test. And this could have to do with anything. Anything at all. Are you going to fall under the cycle of repeat? Or are we going to be self-aware, understand what is happening, recognize the pattern that we fall into, recognize how much we've already done, already evolved, already refined ourselves, love ourselves, just to let something like this, it feels like double energy, something like this come in and tempt us? Well, maybe. Two of Pentacles. Multitasking. You know, maybe you, you do you, Aquarius. You have free will, but it's just like the Two of Pentacles is like, I'm on the fence. Guys, I'm on the fence. I gotta be honest with you, I'm on the fence. Maybe I'm gonna accept his friend request. That's okay too. It's just taking a temperature. What you're trying to alchemize right now. It's like you're working on this. I see. You're working on it. Two of Pentacles is, you know, we're going back and forth, but eventually we need to prioritize. We need to put something down so we can make space for good things and not things that'll just take up our time and energy. Can I get a clarifier for this, please? Chariot, yeah. You know, it's like Spirit saying, keep it moving. That's what they're saying, keep it moving. I think you're the first sign. This is the last, you're the last but not least of this series of readings. I think you're the first one that got the Chariot. This is the card of victory. Spirit is saying, keep it moving, Aquarius. You've got places to go and people to see, and you've struck this beautiful balance within you of those shadow energies and those light energies, of those fears and those triumphs that you've, you know, had in your life. Keep it moving. We've got places to go. It's almost like I see these two, you know, this is the charioteer and this is the chariot, and these are kind of the dogs that are in charge. It's like those are spirit. They're with you. They're letting you drive the car, but they're with you. So they're not going to drive back to the past. Out comes a Page of Wands in the reverse. I think this is outside energy trying to approach you. Page of Wands is trying to approach. It's curious energy. Look at that coy. Who, little old me? Now, this could be, we could put this in a different context of like business, right? Like somebody trying to woo you or tempt you or kind of draw you into a situation where you're just like, you know, I did partnership in business, 10 years back, and I learned some lessons in that. And, you know, I'm probably just better on my own, being an entrepreneur on my own. But there could be this energy that wants to come in. We're curious, but you're not letting it. You're waiting for something else that speaks to you. 8 of Wands, fast action, fast communication. I want to ask Spirit what this 8 of Wands is all about. You're waiting for something else, something better. It's going to come in quickly. Two cards came out. 2 of Swords and the Ace of Cups. I mean, this could have to do with new love. 2 of Swords in the upright is all about indecision. You know, like really being kind of blinded to what is really at stake. Being caught in our own thoughts. That's the 2 of Swords. But in the reverse, it's kind of like, no, I'm pretty decisive. I'm pretty sure about what I want. Ace of Cups is all about potentiality of love and friendship from Spirit. New love, new beginning, or something that you love, right? It's all about that energy. I have done, this is the sixth reading I've done today, but my voice has not failed in the other 5. So there's something blocking your throat chakra. Something that you don't want to admit or say. Maybe you are afraid to manifest new love or something new, but Spirit wants to bring it to you. It's in reverse though, so you're hesitant. And it's coming in fast. It's coming in fast, but you're hesitant to grab hold of it. I feel like you're trying to find your footing right now. Maybe things have been kind of a whirlwind. Maybe things have been moving too fast. I mean, these are big, big speed energies. So maybe you're just trying to pump the brakes. Just a little bit. Just to catch your breath, Spirit just said. The 9 of Cups is the next card out. I always joke about this card because if you ever watch The Graduate, which is a classic film with Dustin Hoffman, you know, it's all about this guy that falls in love with this girl, but her mother something is like a seductress, Mrs. Robinson, right? She's this cougar type figure. This is what reminds me of Mrs. Robinson. That might be, Robinson might be your surname, I don't know. The 9 of Cups is usually about wish fulfillment, healing. In this card, it looks kind of like desire. It's in reverse. Kind of flipped out on my hand, but it's still flipped out in the same direction. It's in reverse. It's clarified by the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Look at this. These 2 cards, it's very particular. Very male gaze oriented images. Right? I don't have to be talking to a man, but it's notable. You know, I don't take anything for granted. There's a reason why, you know, Spirit had me choose this deck, this oracle deck, how the cards come out in tandem. It's all purposeful. And so this is what I'm noticing. I'm noticing the male gaze, the voyeurism. So there could be this sense of like somebody watching, somebody judging, somebody waiting to see how you're going to act, what you're going to do. This could be your energy as well. It is both, these are both in the reverse, right? So it's almost like this kind of what I interpret as temptation energy, you know, perhaps having to do with like somebody wooing you into a new business partnership or a job or relationship. Might not be all it's cracked up to be, and there's part of you that knows it. So you're waiting for something that's going to lead you to your victory. Because you've learned, right? You've learned. You've been burned, and you've learned. Can I get a clarifier for the Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, excuse me, in reverse, and the Nine of Cups in reverse? Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there's a big pause right now. You are in the process of alchemization, but through that process, you're not letting temptation get to you, because it's not ultimately going to lead to the outcome that you're looking for, the new beginning that you're looking for. Spirit does want to bring newness to you, but you're not ready to accept it, and that's absolutely fine. It might not come in the same form again, but it will come in a different form, right? What is meant for you will never pass you by. I mean, we hear these stories of, let's take it out of the romance realm or whatever, these stories of like siblings, right, that were separated at birth, never knew about each other, and then ended up going to the same college. They lived on other sides of the country, go to the same college, go into the same, you know, school, and see each other, become best friends, and realize, oh, we kind of like look alike or like whatever, and oh, your aunt knows this person, and my dad knows this person, blah, blah, blah. Do a DNA test. They're freaking brother and sister, or sister and sister, brother and brother, whatever. Fraternal twins, who knows? There's so many instances of this kind of stuff happening. What does that always reveal to me? It's like, come hell or high water, if two people are meant to know each other, they will know each other. No matter how much you try to separate them, or others try to separate, they will know each other. How can we explain situations like that, you know? It's crazy. So, I don't know why that was important. Maybe you reunited with some long-lost cousin or something. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. That seems really important to say. So I'm going to read from the book, The Great Serpent, Ouroboros, the Tail Eater, the Guardian, the Quantum Realm. The Ouroboros is the all-encompassing glyph of the alchemical process. The hungry snake blends itself around you in a gesture of protection and guardianship, giving you the space and safety to participate in the work. Anything and everything can be offered into its mouth for transformation, good, bad, blasphemous, or precious. The materials of our life transmute into gems along the great serpent's spine. Along with your woes, the Ouroboros engulfs every pair of opposites. What is masculine becomes feminine. What is sky becomes earth. What is past becomes future. When this card appears, you have entered the quantum realm. Everything is a possibility. No one knows the limits of the Ouroboros. Just when you fell into thinking that your life was straightening out, the snake takes you once again into its gaping mouth for an entirely new trajectory. That's your reading, Aquarius. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Aquarius.